Hi, my name's Tony. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Playhera. We're an esports engagement platform for competitors, sponsors, publishers. I'm here today I'm stuck in Dublin, actually, first of all, in wintry Dublin. I'm joined today by Naif, who's our CEO and Chairman, who's based in Riyadh. And I'm also joined by Jad Baz, our Chief Commercialization Officer, who is based in Panama at the moment. Naif, maybe you could give us a little bit of an overview of your own background and how Playhera came to be.
Sure. Thank you, Tony. Hi, everyone. So this is Naif. I would like to be understood as a gamer with an entrepreneurial vision. I have been fascinated by technology for as long as I can remember, and the endless possibilities that it has been proven till date. I always wonder why a gamer or a man lives in their man cave, disconnected from the rest of the world, until Playhera happened. Confucius said, choose your job, the job you love, and you will never work a day in your life. You can't always turn your passion into a profit directly, but it can guide you into a product that can, and I did. Combining my passion of gaming and infusion of technology, 10 years ago, I dreamt of a place where gamers can compete, socialize, and earn all at the same time. So to truly make my dream a reality, I felt the need to ground my feet, taking my concept to family and friends. To my shocking, the response were not what I expected. Are there really that many gamers in our country? Gamers are all children. How you are going to reach a child, let alone explaining all of this? I took it with a grain of salt and was still determined to follow through my plans. And I believe it was due to us, gamers, have been disconnected. No one spoke our language back in the day, but here we are today with an industry that no one, and I mean no one, would have imagined what it have grown to be, yet still growing. My vision grows day by day, and it's fueled by the talent, by the talented and the bright minds investing their time and minds to build on and drive this vision. To conclude, Naif is a Playhera. Playhera is its talent, and its talent are you guys.
You finished that section, yeah?
Yes.
Nice. I got through it quite quickly. Yeah, nice. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about Playhera's technology and the kind of how we're implementing Naif's vision to kind of democratize esports for all and make it accessible to everyone. It's kind of very much, as you heard from Naif, it's taken 20 years to get to where we are now as an industry, and really it's only exploded in popularity in the last 3 to 4 years. So we believe that this is just going to continue into the future, and that esports is going to become more and more mainstream. But going mainstream means more challenges than for everybody involved, whether that's match integrity and cheating, data privacy and governance, and intellectual property, and other growing pains as any new industry faces. So at Playhera, we're looking 3 to 5 years into the future. We're trying to figure out where we can ease customer pain points and add value. And we very much see this as a marathon and not a sprint. And we believe we're the right people in the right place at the right time. We have a very experienced and highly diverse, globally distributed team with a history of innovation and entrepreneurship from corporate, startups and scale-up backgrounds. We come from fintech, from media, from big data, AI, and of course, video gaming. Our goals are to make esports accessible to all. We want to remove the barriers to entry for grassroots and professionals, provide the path to pro for aspiring players and teams, bring standardization and transparency to the industry, and be the friendly gateway to esports for sponsors and brands. At Playhera, we're all about solving our stakeholder and user problems. So we want to help players and teams, organizers, both amateur and professional, and be that kind of easy on-ramp into the world of esports for sponsors, colleges, games publishers, agencies and influencers, among others. So how we do it? We've built a state-of-the-art competitive gaming platform and then wrapped it in a social network. And now we're kind of wrapping that in what we call like a town square, right? A marketplace where the stakeholders can mingle, compete, monetize. From day one, we designed Playhera as a global platform. We built for scale. Today, it's a marketing engagement and community management platform, evolving into a multi-sided business-to-business and business-to-consumer marketplace. Our technology platform is state-of-the-art. It's cloud-native and hosted in several locations around the globe. It's fast and flexible and designed for huge scale. We have a mobile-first customer experience and usually for esports, industry-leading usability and ease of use. And we have a great customer experience at the center of what we do. On the platform, you're able to connect to social network, gaming and streaming services. It's private and secure by design. We've taken that very seriously from the off. We operate in multi-regions, multi-jurisdictional, so we have to be compliant across the board. Playhera is currently available in 26 countries, soon to be 28. We've partnerships in 2 regions at the moment, providing local market knowledge and support. Playhera is built on 4 main pillars: competition, community, content, and commerce. Competition, we see it as the means to provide the ability for stakeholders to create, promote, and manage tournaments, both online and offline, provide opportunities for them to connect and compete, and provide scaffolding and support along the journey for aspiring players. The community piece is a unified communication platform for esports community and fan management. We automate a lot of the work of running tournaments for both casual and professional tournaments. We're a reliable and user-friendly tool set for both expert and novice community organisers. We see content as part of the third pillar, as part of the glue that holds the other pillars together, really. So we provide the means by which our users can create, connect, and publish content to Playhera and to their social and streaming and gaming accounts. We provide a channel to drive engagement through promotions and events on Playhera. And finally, the fourth pillar is commerce. We're evolving into an integrated marketplace for goods and services, both physical and virtual, providing revenue generating opportunities for our partners. And we hope to be able to help matchmake between sponsors and corporates, sponsors and colleges, sponsors and organisers, between teams and organisers, between influencers and production companies and agencies, and provide those opportunities to kind of mingle and connect on Playhera. And now I'll hand over to Jad.
Thank you, Tony. My name is Jad Baz. I'm responsible for commercializing Playhera's aspect of operation. I call myself probably a growth/scaling expert, and I've been into the tech industry since the beginning of my career. I'm an MIS graduate, and I have a passion for Playhera and for the technology that sits behind it, but as well I have a passion for setting our growth strategy and our commercial go-to-market approach. I'd like to talk today about the challenges facing any esports platform, not only us, because these challenges are kind of generic and can be applied everywhere. Esports as a segment, as a market, we probably cannot call it an industry. In terms of revenues, are not quite clear, the revenues, right? So some statistics are positioning it somewhere short of 1 billion. Now, compared to around 170 billion, the volume of the video gaming industry, it's looked at as a small segment within that industry. But we believe that the volume of esports is much bigger. The revenues are much larger than just short of 1 billion. And most importantly, it has a tremendous future opportunities. So between advertising, ticket sales, endorsement, licensing, sponsorships, merchandising, and so on. Tremendous opportunities for everyone. And now we're not talking about a specific stakeholder. We're talking about as many as we can imagine. Those opportunities will be for game developers, for sponsors, for organizers, for players, specifically players and teams, definitely. And by the way, if you are aiming to become a professional esports player or to form a professional team, then probably it's good to jump on that idea early on. Definitely, you're not gonna forge a career from day one. But if one works hard enough and in the right direction, he or she can grab it. Yes, this opportunity is there for everyone. When we started thinking about the commercial strategy of our platform, we had so many ideas, and just like every other startup, we thought that we have to lay down all the potential revenue streams that we had in mind. We came up with around 17 different revenue channels, right? But eventually what we chose was just 2. And those 2 are the mainly active revenue channels today. Because when we looked at ourselves and looked at what the market needs today, we thought that those 2 revenue streams are good enough to give us sustainable financials. But at the same time, we are the cool kid around the block, so we want to be cool. We want to remain cool. So we didn't, for example, start forcing advertisement through our platform or imposing specific fees and whatnot, so on specific services or subscription fees. No. We said, let's keep it cool. Let's remain cool in the eyes of our users, and let's focus on satisfying the user base and expanding it. This is where we reduce the revenue streams, but definitely a business model for any startup is a living creature. So we're gonna keep looking at this living creature and dealing with it. As time passes, everything is changing, and as you have seen that during the COVID pandemic, we've witnessed so many changes within the gaming industry, a huge boom as well in terms of audience and viewerships and etc. So this is also have pushed us to think and rethink where we're going and how we're operating as well. So we looked at ourselves and we found ourselves to be very confident in what we have built so far. We have a very stable platform, a very mature one, a very feature-rich one, and we're talking on a global scale, not on a specific regional scale. The decision was to, in fact, scale rather than grow. Well, give a priority for scaling than growing. So, and this is why today we're in Saudi Arabia, we're in Southeast Asia, we are very well positioned in Japan. We have a very great partner there who's doing a great job there. And I'm now in Panama in Central America. We are expanding our operations into the Latin American market as well, which is a very large market for esports and gaming. So in short, we've transformed from being a seed company, a startup, to a company that is scaling fast enough and growing steadily enough. So probably it's good to explain why we chose scaling over growing. The usual growth methods of any startup is investing into time, resources, and capital to reach a specific revenue, while in scaling, it's more reaching this revenue with very minimum investment. So the scaling approach is in fact, having a more sustainable financial model within your operation. And this is why we believed in this approach, and this is why we're applying it now. Being a Saudi formed company that works in technology, is not usual for a Saudi company to go and franchise itself through partners, definitely in places like Japan and Southeast Asia, or in places like Brazil and Latin America. It's usually the other way around. So in the Middle East in general, we usually import technology, we don't export it. But in this case, we were able to export it because of many unique selling points that Playhera has. And we believe as well that many other players within the esports and gaming industry in the Middle East and in Saudi Arabia have the ability to create niche solutions and to leverage on amazing ideas and take those ideas, make them into reality, and then export them into the global scene. Nothing is impossible if there is enough persistence and enough consistency in delivering and in developing and in creating for the gaming community. The gaming community is booming everywhere and is in fact looking for those niche ideas, special thoughts, and special platforms, and not only platforms. Now that we're talking about platforms, but the esports in general is actually a savvy area, even for teams, for players, for professional esports teams. It is there. It is asking for more and more. And if we remember how the traditional sports it took around 20 years for it to mature into proper into proper business models for each stakeholder. It wasn't quite the case that a professional athlete was having a very happy and very rosy financial life as well, because it took some time to pick up the sponsorships and advertisement deals to come through. Today, the same thing, but in a much more accelerated way, is happening to the esports teams and esports players. So given that the audience of esports is growing tremendously fast, so we think that probably this is the right time to invest in esports and gaming. Whether this investment is money or time, we think the opportunities are there.
Great. Great. Thank you, Jad. And now I think we'll head back to Naif. And Naif, perhaps you might give us your take on the challenges for the future for esports and for Playhera.
Yeah, thank you, Jad. Thank you, Tony. So I'm going to speak about the vision for sure and our positioning. So Playhera's vision and positioning was always clear from the get-go. However, we are a team player and we work hand in hand with the esports stakeholder. I believe that the world as the whole was not ready from the point of imagination and definitely not infrastructure, limiting Playhera true potential in turn, its vision and mission, which is stayed within me. In order to have a self-sustaining industry that provides values to all its key stakeholders, regulators have to understand the market size and feel the demand of the ecosystem falling in a second place. The corporate world would have to evaluate and engage the said ecosystem and invest in the sponsorship opportunities provided by the realm of esport. In 2017, Playhera came into existence, a vision that gamer-centric during the development of its value proposition, identifying the limitation and the opportunities behind the billion of gamers worldwide. Even in the most developed markets, they have still loomed in the horizon. Therefore, with the following pathway paved for us, I believe we are ready to take our place as the holistic gateway for gaming, connecting the fragmented esports value chain and gamers around the world.
The next generation of esports with Playhera. Good stuff. And now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to gaming, of course, we're going to have IPs, brands, and a lot of things, and some legal issues taking place with all in the midst of this craziness of the gaming exciting world. So with us here today is going to be the General Counsel of Fnatic, Mr. Andrew Cook, to tell us more about legality and laws in the gaming industry. So, game on, let's go.